Run it. I can't take no loss. I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, yeah. Run it, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year.
What's good, people? Welcome back to the Two Head Podcast. I'm your main host, Mukhtar.
Co-host Martin Byrne.
And welcome back to Two Heads Podcast. We have Daniel Kane with us. Daniel Kane, a lot of you probably would have read about him on the newspaper on Mansfield's tiger kidnap. That's what was said on the newspaper. I'm not 100% sure, but that's why we said we'd bring him in here to have us shine a light on him and see where we are now today with it. Yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for the time.
How are you? You well?
I'm good for Daniel.
Yeah.
Always.
100%. I'm gonna bring you back to the. I want to go all the way back, right? So, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Ballybrack.
Ballybrack, yeah.
I come from a family that has 11 kids.
Wow.
Father wasn't there.
Okay.
Never knew him until lately when he passed away there last month. So, from then, he got to be a father and be a grandfather to my kids.
Oh, brilliant.
So it was a little late, but he showed good respect, and the grandkids had good time for him. And they always enjoyed listening to his stories from the past.
From the past and all, yeah.
So, he's been separated from my mother for 30 years, divorced. So I don't have much
to say about him, yeah. Yeah, but that's okay. But like growing up without father being around, and Ballybrack, what part of Ballybrack?
Be Hollycourt.
Hollycourt, yeah. You went to school over there, clearly, yeah.
Yeah, I went to school at Colmkill.
Yeah, and were you always a bold child?
No.
No.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Look, I live with no regrets.
Good.
I've done some good things, I've done some bad things.
But that's all human.
I don't have time for regret.
Good.
I accept myself for who I am and who I should portray to be. And I don't have time to regret, and I accept who I am now today, and I move on.
Brilliant. And come here, I just want to get to know you. I want the viewers to get to know you a bit better. So you grew up in Ballybrack, you went to school in Ballybrack, yeah? So what age did you start?
Brack.
Ballybrack, sorry, I'm
B-R-A-C-K.
Brilliant, Ballybrack, yeah, am I right? So at what age did you start venturing out of Ballybrack?
Well, I spent some time in Waterford.
Okay.
We had a pub down there.
Family pub or?
No, it was just a lease on a pub.
At what age was this, sir?
God, it was a good couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Talking 12 years ago.
Yeah.
So the pub was good, banter, you know.
Totally.
That only lasted for a year or two. And then I came back then, I got introduced to certain individuals that I won't name on this.
Okay.
At the time I was introduced to these certain individuals as for honest work. So we were led to believe, anyway, by a well-known businessman that you just mentioned. The tabloid said it was a tiger kidnapping. There was none of such. Yeah,
but let me take you back a little bit there, yeah? So was that at the time, so the person I mentioned, am I right when I said that? Because that's what I said in the papers, right?
You did say that in the papers,
yes, yeah. So I'm going by the papers. So what I'm saying is, so at the time when you ventured out, you had a little lease on the pub. So that was in, where's the pub again, sorry?
That was in Waterford.
The pub was in Waterford. And then you got approached, because when you had the pub in Waterford, were you doing bouncing at the time? I believe I was reading somewhere you were a skate guard.
I had a lease on the bar.
So you owned the bar?
Well, it was a sublet.
Sublet, yeah.
Right, okay. So I was there for about 2 years. After that then, it was 2012 I left. Then I was doing a bit of work, security.
Security, yes, that's what I was
worked for multiple security companies. We did all gigs back when Oxygen was Oxygen at the time.
Yeah.
Slang Castle, all that carry on.
All that.
And like, work, a bit of security. Things like that.
That's what got you kind of into the line of security work, was that kind of that was the start of that.
That's why I will be going forward. In the near future, but
that's
we will
brilliant.
get that. So.
Yeah, but like, so when you got into security work, all that, yeah. So how did offer comes, boy, for you to make money, or what was it? What was the deal that came towards you before everything, before the chaos, let's say?
Well, before all that, I was thrown out of school, right?
Okay.
Because there was my little brother was getting bullied, and me doing boxing, you know yourself, you have to pick up for a family, so
yeah.
I got expelled from a primary school because of that. And then I went on to a football course. It's Sports Reach down in Sallinoggin. It's run by Pat Devlin, that was the agent of Damien Duff and Shay Given.
Yeah.
A few others. So I'm actually related to Pat Devlin through marriage.
Okay.
So with that then, when I finished the course, I was about 18, and then I was living in Bray at the time. And then, you know yourself, and you're young, and you're a boxer, and you're doing things, and there's in a bit of violent confrontations, you know, strangers in the streets and things and all like that.
Yeah.
But, in 2015 is what led to what happened on that man's land you mentioned.
And like, so like, see, in 2015, so in 2015, were you living in Dublin?
Yeah.
You were living in Dublin, yeah?
I was, yeah.
Oh, brilliant. And come here, like, how did he approach you? Like, how did he find?
Basically,
because I know you're a big lad and all, bro. Look,
I've lost a lot of weight.
You're a big lad, bro. You're still a big lad, mate. You know what I mean? But like, how did he approach you, and why did he approach you? Is what I wanted to know. That's what I wanted.
It wasn't actually me he approached. It was a friend of mine at the time that the papers label him as something he's not.
Okay.
You always get that in tabloids and media, and it wasn't a tiger kidnapping either.
Yeah, that's where the story is twisted by the media.
Yes.
That's where I was thinking, yeah. Because when we read it, it said tiger kidnap. That's what I said.
Most people in this country know quite well what a tiger kidnapping is.
A tiger kidnap, to explain it to the viewers, a tiger kidnap would be if they come to your house and you have something that they're coming there for, to tie your family up and make you as ransom till you pay out. Yeah, that's a tiger kidnap.
Yeah, that was not the case.
So what happened here? So he approached you. When he approached you, what did he ask you? Like, was there somebody that owes money? Was it business?
No, there was nothing to do with that. It was actually legit work.
Okay.
Honest work. Brilliant. On his land. So with that then, an altercation broke out on the land. We were charged with a violent disorder, multiple counts of false imprisonment.
Can we go back, see, because the way I'm looking at it, sorry to cut you off, brother, an altercation broke out, yeah, that's fair enough, but like, what was the altercation, bro? Because we need to know, like me, like when I read it, like what they said in the paper, you're saying that it's not true right now, yeah?
No,
so,
it's not true.
Yeah, so what happened? What was the altercation? You know, that's
just a row on the land.
So it was nothing to do with money or like that, it was just a row?
Nothing got to do with money. Nothing got to do with money whatsoever. We showed up in our own cars, no masks, no balaclavas, no cable ties, no that you would need.
Just literally, yeah.
So-called
tiger kidnaps, yeah.
You know. And it wasn't anything got to do with any paramilitary organisation. That's have to be labelled in papers there as well. So with that then, as I said, the altercation broke out. We all got sentenced by the special criminal court in Dublin.
But how can you get sentenced just from a fight though? This is what I'm saying.
Like, charges on CCTV.
So assault, like who did you assault? Like
there's members on the property that were assaulted.
And when you say assault, was it a box?
Well, it was assault section 3, so...
Section 3, so that's with it? Hit with a weapon, with a bat or a box?
Broken nose, like...
Oh, that's the less one, is it? That's the...
Look, you know, like you've done boxing yourself.
Yeah, no, but assault 3...
How many broken noses have you got or have I got?
Ah, yeah, 100%.
And that would be a section 3. It's very easy to...
so that's section 3, yeah. So it's not a weapon. Yeah. It's not a weapon.
No, there's no weapons, and we didn't bring any weapons. As I said, we didn't show up there to do any of that. We were approached to honest work.
Delhi.
And that was it. So with that there, as I said, the fight broke out. Gardaí got involved. I then fled the land because of the Gardaí after the fight. So with that there...
So, see, sorry, I'm going to keep putting in like this, by the way. My apologies, bro, yeah? And if there's anything I'm saying that's out of proportion, please correct me, will you, please? But, like, so the guards came and the charges were whatever, yeah? And
charges then came later.
A charge came later. But why did you flee before the charge came?
Because there was assault that took place.
So when the assault came, you know there was going to be charges, so you just wanted to get out?
Well, after the assault, people raised the alarm to have the Gardaí there. So if you assaulted someone...
Oh, no, you fled the place.
Yeah,
you didn't flee the country. You just fled the area.
Fled the area, yeah. So
Yes.
I fled the area. Other individuals fled the area as well. I'm sure, like, if you assaulted somebody...
Oh, yeah, gone.
And the Gardaí
yeah. Fucking way, gone.
For dust.
Yeah.
So with that then, we weren't charged till about 6 months later. So then I ended up in Clover Hill.
Wow, straight away they put you in.
Well, I had bail on me, so I...
Oh, you were on bail when that happened?
No. I got sent to Clover Hill when I was effectively charged. So I was in Clover Hill for 12 months.
Okay.
Waiting on trial by the special criminal court, which I call a kangaroo court because there's no jury.
Okay.
And I do believe every man should be tried by jury.
Yeah.
So
But when you say you had bails on you, that means you could have been bailed out.
I had bail on me, so I could have walked out of Clover Hill any time.
But you choose to stay?
to stay there for 12 months. And then one of the co-accused that was in Clover Hill with me, I don't want to mention his name this there either, we got a trial date for an extra year. And anyone that knows what Clover Hill is like, it's an absolute kip.
Sure.
So I said, fuck this, I'm getting out on bail. So I got out on bail. When I got out on bail, there's nothing but heavy guard attention around me. So I couldn't get a lift anywhere without that car being followed, stopped, searched, then their houses being searched. So they demobilised me and transportation, and it brought heat on people that weren't involved in crime or anything in this country. So it wasn't fair on them. So I made the decision to flee to the UK.
Okay.
So then I spent 12 months on the run in the UK. They only had a national warrant for me at the time. So by the time they got the European arrest warrant, and my ex-partner at the time fell pregnant for me while I was in the UK. So I came back to Clondalkin Gardaí station, handed myself in. With that there, they brought me straight to the special criminal court. Now that court is only aligned to the maximum security prison in Portage. So they can only make their warrant out for Portage prison. So that's, you know, it's supposed to be for high profile criminals and members of organisations, but there's split landings. So I met fellas down there, they were on 6 month sentences. So it's not just for high profile criminals, it's the way the media make it out to be, it's the way the courts make it out to be. So I only ended up doing 2 years in Portage, but I want to go back to what happened in Clover Hill.
Yeah, I'll bring you back to Clover Hill, yeah?
Okay.
So when you went into Clover Hill, because I understand you went in Clover Hill for 12 months, was it?
12 months, that's
12
right.
months, yeah.
That there was my first time being in prison.
Yeah. But was this your first offence? It wasn't not your first offence, was it?
I did get a suspended sentence years ago for assault on a taxi driver.
So it's the second assault offence?
Second assault offence.
Yeah.
So going back to Clover Hill, that was my first time being in prison, and that is a remand prison. So I did 12 months in there. I was involved in a fight. I say a fight, it was more like a riot. It was an attack on one of me and my co-accused, where they're talking about 20 people that attacked us with makeshift blades, pill cues, pill balls, you know.
And I know you can fight, bro.
Well, I stood my ground.
Yeah.
It didn't take 20, you couldn't get me down. Did fight back, it did drop a few. So, anyone that's watching this will know that and can confirm that.
Fairly.
I've ended up with 7 scars being in prison. That's, you know, scars are like a tattoo. It's a memory and a story. It's a good memory of me.
Yeah.
It was good and bad times in Clover Hill. So with that then, came to October. So we were first arrested. I actually want to go back to the arrest at me house in Hollycourt, me ma's house. The way the special detectives arrested me, right? How they entered the house. how they broke the windows, how they, now there's young kids in the house, and the guarded brutality was a disgrace. They smashed the window on my house because they couldn't enter the door. So as I was lying down on the ground,
Is this straight after the assaulting City West?
This was 6 months after the assault.
Straight, but this is what it led to.
Yeah. 6 months after the assault in City West.
Yeah. So was it the ERU that came in, or was it the drug squad?
The ERU.
Were they ballied up?
Yeah, they're all ballied up.
It was the ERU. Yeah.
You call it the Irish SWAT team.
The SWAT team. That's what I was about to say. Yeah, sorry, not the SWAT team.
Up, with automatic weapons. At the front of the house now blocked off.
Yeah. Cable ties.
Yeah,
everyone.
All that carry on. You swear they're going
for one person as well, like
one man, yeah. And they knew the house had more than just me in it. There was kids in it. There's myself, my mum, my niece. The guardie walked on my face, right? Kicked my feet into glass after the window was smashed, right? And as they're walking by, they kept stepping on my face. So as they handcuffed me, hands behind me back, the way they lifted me up by one arm up, right? So with the shields then, right, they burst the top of my head open, and I was bleeding badly, very badly. And they tried to tidy that up before they brought me into the station.
Like, come to say this, bro, yeah? Like, I know the SWAT team does not just go for any random job soap. Like, if the way I'm looking at it is, was it the people that you grew up with, that they gave you that character that they thought they need to come in that heavy?
More so the co-accused, and we were labelled as dangerous individuals.
There you go, because like, there's no way they were coming in like that, without feeling fear of their own protection.
Yeah. As well as that, my girlfriend at the time, right, when she was coming to the UK to see me, they called the her house, they called the her father's yard. You know quite well who they are. And they're asking her about me. Do you know who you're going out with? He's a very dangerous individual. Do you have any concerns? And that person at the time says she doesn't know me. So they're allowed to show her 6-hour phone calls twice a day. So obviously they were tapping the phones, and so they shouldn't be doing that anyway. So they had a lot of interest in me and my time on the run. So by the time the European arrest warrant was sent out, I came back and handed myself in. Okay. So from that then, I ended up in Portlaoise prison. And
like, out of the two, what would be the best one? The best hotel?
The best hotel.
That's the best hotel there out of the two.
Portlaoise.
Portlaoise, yeah.
Gym is great. I met a good few people down there. I don't want to mention names, but there were lads that were being branded in newspapers and TV shows and documentaries as the worst in the country. The people I met down there were lovely, again, I don't want to mention names, but I got on with everybody down there, had a good time. The gym, the food is nice. I got caught with a phone down there.
When you're caught with a phone, I believe it's 6 months extra, is it, onto your case?
Sometimes you can get penalised and they put you on the block and it's squashed. I got caught with a phone once, I got penalised, I got phone calls taken on me, I was put in the block. I lost visits.
What's the block, bro?
Yeah, I was just about to say.
The block is like a punishment part.
You don't see anybody, it's just you on your own. 23 hours or something.
Visits, and to me, I actually enjoyed the block.
Yeah.
And then the second time I was coming back from court, I was in the dog box, is what we call it. The handcuffs were on me and there's a camera on me, and I was reading the newspaper. And as I turned the newspaper over, the handcuffed uncuffed itself, so they stopped and asked for more guard escort. So I was at the side of the road, pulled in, saying, what the fuck is going on? So with that, a lot of armed gardaí showed up, and they opened the back of the prison van, and they accused me of attempt of escape. After me pleading guilty on the way back to Portlaoise, after me handing myself into guarded custody, so that there, I got penalised in that in Portlaoise, so they put me in a padded room while they searched my cell, and they found a bit of copper wire. So we use copper wire, right, to hang our bags on the window because there's no fridge.
No,
we
yeah.
open the window,
Kills the drinks and the milk and all, everything, yeah.
With that there, I got penalised, got put in the block down. I spent 2 years in Portlaoise prison. It was good and bad. The only thing that got me in Portlaoise and in Clover Hill was family, and missing out on family and kids coming in and seeing you. It's not ideal, you know. I did my last 10 months, as I said there, in Portlaoise block. It was more relaxed regime. We had a sandwich maker, we had a toaster, we had our own yard. It is guarded by the National Army 24/7 because it is the only maximum security prison in Ireland.
Yeah, in Ireland.
So I found my time in Portlaoise last 10 months very cushy, very good.
So it's like a hotel.
Relaxed. So I was doing the reading. I read a lot of books down there. Go for the mind. We used to go jogging in the yard, and then we'd have a punching bag on the landing there as well, which you wouldn't have on C block. So I was on A block. That's the block of Portlaoise. So we had a punching bag there. We could do pads, we could do skipping, we jog up down the landing. Small landing, there's only about 8 cells, but then we go jogging around the yard. So just keeping active and being book smart and just keeping level headed.
Yeah, like when you were in there and all, being so young, like when you into any tablets, weed, anything like that.
Look, the jails are full of drugs.
Yeah,
right. If you take drugs in there, you can become, you know,
a lifer.
addicted. You could come out and stay in there. Whatever I did in prison, I left at the gates.
You left that right at the gate when you walked away.
Behind me since
Good,
that.
good.
I'm out of prison since I left. I got released from Portlaoise on February 20. Right, so I'm out just over 3 years. Haven't been involved in crime. Haven't been involved in anything. I'm under guarded attention.
Right, that's where it's bringing me on to the next one, because I know I'm not too sure were you locked up or were you out when you lost your child. And I said I wanted to
prison when I lost my child.
And how was that like? Just
it was actually Troy's second anniversary there on Sunday. Right, so what happened with Troy? He was born early at 7 months. He was in the Rotunda Hospital, which did a fantastic job. He was in the incubator for 3 months. So he got released and full, fine, healthy baby. He had an appointment then with Temple Street. It was an eye problem, I'm not sure what, but they used anaesthetic on his eye.
I believe this has an anaesthetic that they use on them. It's not even meant to be used on kids.
No,
newborn, especially not infants. Like
no. Well, I actually know someone that trains in your gym. I spoke to that guy last night. He doesn't want his name mentioned, but he's 40 years of age. He's a bodybuilder. He got the same anaesthetic treatment as my son did, and he ended up in ICU for a week. Right. I got my wisdom tooth taken out by a private doctor, right? He's going to be a part of the case because there is an investigation going on with Temple Street Hospital and my son's death, because the state pathologist put it down as cot death, and we don't accept that at all. Because their report came out and said there was no anaesthetic found, even though we have the medical report saying we used anaesthetic. So it turns out when the Gardaí did their investigation, the nurses weren't even qualified to use anaesthetic.
Fucking hell.
So if it's putting men, fully grown men, in ICU,
what's it going to do for a newborn?
Giving it to a small child,
and then they use it on a child that caused the death. But they're not putting it down as cause of death. So I don't accept cot death as much.
I think it's fair. Like I think it's a fair thing, and you should dig deeper, like, and see where you can bring it. Like, you know.
My aim with the legal team is to try get this taken off the market.
Okay.
If it's killing babies and children and putting fully grown men that are healthy in ICU for a week. Like, it certainly shouldn't be used. Now, this type of anaesthetic, it's different from what you get if you went to the hospital. I have scars here, and I use the anaesthetic, you know, so once they inject it, they can cut you open, you don't feel it.
You don't feel the thing.
That's how powerful it is. But they use it on the eye form, right? It's a liquid drop. So with that there, it goes into the eye, dissolves slowly. It could take 2 hours, it could take 12 hours. So Troy passed away that night in his sleep after being released from Temple Street with no concern.
Wow.
So
I said that was heavy on the family.
Of course it was. Grief is very tough.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I think it was the saddest thing around the Estates.
It was
when we heard that. It was. I mean, heart goes out to the whole family, you know.
Thank you for that.
Big time, big
Got
time.
a lot of support from Bannock and the community as well. So thanks for that.
Yeah, no, it was deep. It was deep. You know what I mean? No one ever want to be in that position where your kid goes before you, and I understand, and fair play to you for sharing that with me as well. You know what I mean? I truly appreciate that. Like, you know,
after been through a lot as well, that's a big stretch of life happening there. Like, for that to then come about.
And then
look, I come from a big family. I always with a big family. So I've loads of nieces and nephews. They're all great. So come from a big family, you want to extend it, you know.
You want to extend it, yeah.
So you know, what we do in our life and where we go and what we earn and what we build up, you know, if you don't have kids, you know, like, where's it going to be left to?
Do you know what I mean?
If not our children.
I believe having kids young. Yeah. I believe the younger you have them, the better.
Because you will have a better relationship.
You'll have a better relationship. You get to be around a little bit more. When they get to a certain age, you be able to enjoy them and have fun a little bit more. You know what I mean? So that's why I started mine at 23, man. All my kids were already basically planned, like, you know.
I was, I think, 22, 23 when I
the first one,
Sahara.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. 12 now.
Yeah, it's the same, actually. It was 22 as well.
Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. But
the younger, the better.
The younger, the better. You have the energy for them. See my kids right now, man. If I was to have kids right now, me bollocks. Fuck that, man. Nah, I'm too old, man.
Exactly.
Bro, like, my kids
take up a lot of time.
A lot of time. So. My son will wake up at 6 in the morning and he's ready charged till fucking 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock till he's going to sleep.
No matter how you feel about it.
It doesn't matter.
Fuck, yeah.
You could be tired, man. I'm bored. I'm bored. Like, you know, you just want to chill with them. I'm bored. Yeah. Like, it's mad. It's a lot. It does take a lot. Oh, yeah. And, like, thank you for sharing that with me. I understand you went through a lot.
I have 3 kids now.
You have 3 kids now, yeah? Zori, and you have another one on the way, yeah?
Zori, Sahara, and Toyeg.
Yeah.
Right? No, I don't have another one on the way.
Nice.
So I have Zori, Sahara, and Toyeg now. Sahara and Zori in sole custody.
Okay.
Through Dolphin House and Tuesday as well. Were involved in that case, not because of me. There was concerns from neighbours and things like that. So I went to Dolphin House based on the Tuesday report. It was very easy for the judge to give me sole custody on that day of my 2 kids, Sahara and Daniel Kane. So I have them now sole custody. It's I think it's just over 2 years now. So they have no intentions of being with their, what I'd say, so-called mother. I think using that word is giving that person too much respect. I won't mention that person's name either.
That's
okay. The kids
okay.
are flying, they're great, they're happy, they're going to school, they love the school, they're doing kickboxing, they're doing football, they're anything a child should have at that age in terms of technology, phones, iPhones, iPads, they have it all.
No, it's a lot now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't agree with the kids
having too much,
18 hours a day on Xbox and iPhones and iPads.
Screens in general,
Yeah, and now they're on the TikToks and they're calling them TikTokers and things now like that.
It's mad, isn't it? So, yeah, but that takes me down then, right? So we touched on that, we touched on the family. I also believe, I read somewhere, or was it social media, that you have a dog company.
That's right. I got out of Portlaoise and I started getting into dogs. Now, I've been involved with dogs since I'm knee-high.
Okay.
So I had, I started off with a Staffordshire Bull Terriers, and they turned into Blue Staffs then. And then I had American Akitas, I had Dogo Argentinas, and then when that there was for, right? So when I left Portlaoise, I got into American Bullies, right? And they have a very bad name.
What you mean?
Well, they're tabloids again.
Oh, the American Bullies. Yeah.
American Bullies.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, they do have bad names.
So you're talking XLs, pocket bullies, standard bullies, classic bullies, extreme. They have a very bad reputation.
Yeah, but you don't think like the bad reputation came from so many people being breeders through the lockdown?
It's all down through, right, the owners.
Yeah, well, like, if you look in the lockdown, right, in the lockdown, every second neighbour was a breeder. Every second neighbour had a dog, they were breeding, they were overbreeding or whatever. It was a big, like your man that was caught in CUS, I don't want to drop any name, I don't know if I know his name. Remember he had like 2 apartments, one was with dogs and he was keeping like serious amount of French shits in the yoke and all. It was just disgusting, like, you know. Yeah, so a lot of people try to stay away from that now. I think a lot of bad breeders tarnish it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I call that puppy farming.
Puppy farming, that's exactly what a lot.
My aim with dogs is to improve the breed, right? And breed to improve, as I said. And I was involved in dog shows in the UK. I did take a step back from the dogs because I lost my son. My sister Carla as well passed away. The cancer there 4 months ago.
Right.
And then my father, I only laid him to rest there last month. It was his month's mind there on Saturday. So you have all that going on, and trying to focus on kids and work and things and all like that as well. It's the motivation's still there. I still have drive, you know. Didn't have the kids, I'd probably be somewhere else now, you know. So
that's what I was going to ask you. Is that where the drive comes from? Is the kids?
The drive and friends of good friends, a lot of good friends. I'd love to mention their names, but they'd say, "What the fuck you mention that?"
Yeah.
There are good breeders out there. There are good kennels out there, but there's people doing it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, thank you. That's
and
exactly where we're going.
When you breed for money, right, and you don't breed for passion for the dog, and you don't breed to improve the breed, those are the wrong reasons for breeding dogs. And then I think most of these dogs are very expensive. So when people realise the valuation of these dogs, everybody jumped on the bandwagon. They're putting good dogs with bad dogs, and then there's just a load of crap.
Well, let me cut you off on that, right? Let's touch on things that a lot of people around the estate will be talking about, right? So most of these dogs that's like bred or whatever, the problem is the health complication. So a lot of them are paying $5,000 for dogs, and they're coming out with mad health because they ever overbreed. Am I right? Is that what's going on?
That can be right. That could be down to inbreeding,
and overbreeding the yoke.
Yeah, overbreeding and just not taking care of the dogs when they're pregnant and when they're in heat as well. You have to get them AI'd, which is artificial insemination. Back when I was doing dogs, there was no AIs, there was no C-sections, there was no parvovirus. I personally lost 16 dogs to parvo in a month. So it's a very dangerous disease for the dog to get. Most of these diseases, I think...
How would you catch them diseases though?
You know, I personally think they come from the importation, the dogs. It's not the dogs. All dogs are fully vaccinated, right? In accordance of vets, how they should be vaccinated with their rabies jabs, their boosters, they're all the one, you know. It's the transportation that's unhygienic. So a dog could be vaccinated against parvo, and in fairness, 80% of the entire dog population carries canine herpes. Now, you could have a dog that's vaccinated against canine herpes and parvo, but they can still carry parvo. So now we do AIs, so natural maintenance with expensive dogs is a no-go. Not unless you know the dog yourself. Like if I was doing my own breeding, I know my dog doesn't have parvo or canine herpes, and both dogs are fully vaccinated. And if they're made naturally, go ahead with it. I believe in natural maintenance and natural breedings. But now it's all AI. But that is...
Do you believe, that's another question that I'm going to put in there. I'm going to ask you 1 or 2 questions about dogs, because obviously you're the man for it, you know what I mean? So do you believe raw food is good for dogs? See, like people are fighting now because they're getting dogs and they don't know if they were, because you know there's so many connoisseurs out there now. No, do this, do that, do
Yeah,
that.
'cause I
No,
heard
do
both.
this.
I heard raw meat is the thing. I never heard people saying raw meat is the worst thing you can give a dog as well. Like it's hard to know.
I always
what's
heard like
right
raw
for it.
meat. No, I've heard raw meat is good.
I heard
and I've
raw
heard it's
meat.
bad.
Yeah.
I've heard raw meat is the best for dogs.
Yeah, and it's bad.
Well, what I use if I use raw meat, I'll pour a scalding kettle of water over it to take any bad bacteria.
Yeah.
But it depends where the raw meat is coming from.
Yeah,
So-
see, the details.
So it's
are
not just
important,
picked
isn't
up,
it?
What I
yeah.
use on dogs, I use multivitamins. I use carron oil that would be well known for using in horses. And
For their coat, is
it's
it?
good for their coat and stuff and all like that. And just make sure they're all vaccinated and give them a good nut. I use eggs. Dogs are, if I have a dog that's
The full eggs with the shell and everything in
full
it.
egg, shell,
Yeah,
yolk,
yeah.
milk, cheese. I know all dogs are lactose intolerant, but if a bitch is neat because she's pregnant and there's puppies draining like hundreds of calories out of her, she's losing weight, she's not going to draw milk out for the puppies to survive. So, and my pregnant dogs eat at that time, that's what they're going to get. So
Mad.
that was good. So it's
Yeah.
a mixture of a combination of variety, and variety is always good. And
Yeah.
Oh,
So guys, today's episode is brought to you by Champions Gym. Champions Gym is located in the back of Wigglers on the Long Mile Road. We are the greatest gym in Ireland to date. The home of the champions, where everything is based around our members and our community. We have good rates, good membership deals, top level staff, top level trainers, and all of the best equipment that you can get your hands on. Champions Gym is the sponsor of today's podcast. Down on the Long Mile Road behind Wigglers. Be sure to come in, check it out, a day pass, a month, whatever it is. Come join now and join the home of the champions. Champions Gym, sponsor of today's podcast.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think one thing that was standing out to me the most there, like particularly with the charge that you'd received, and obviously the papers went and took it, completely left the field. Like, it sounds like an awful lot of what came your way, even the way that you were taken out of your Masgaff, the way like everything kind of unfolded for you over them years, coming in and out of prison and stuff. I think the papers nearly, it sounds like, purposely didn't help that. I think they kind of created that hysteria around you where
Of course, yeah.
it was warranted for you to go and get fucking picked out of a gaff by a SWAT team, essentially, or whatever what you want to
Exactly,
call
yeah.
them, you know. So how do you feel that's like, do you carry that to this day, like in your other businesses? Does that still hold on you, where
No,
people look at you in that light?
what holds on me was the impact I had in my family, more or
Yeah.
less, not on me. They should have respect for other tenants and family members that are in that house.
Yeah.
With absolute no regard. They break down doors, break down windows. They heavily assaulted me in front of my mother and my niece, and I was covered in blood. It was like a bloodbath.
Be horrifying
You
for a
know,
cutter
and,
one, yeah.
and then they tried to clean me up before they brought me back to the station.
Yeah.
Because obviously the superintendent wouldn't be too happy at that. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
That's any guards fucking are going to give me any favours in any way. But they do a lot of bad, and they guard the corruption, as you know, in this country is an absolute disgrace. So with that there, you have, it's all over the media now, the Gardaí in this country are robbing drugs from their own safe houses where
Oh.
they, you know, it's all over the news, it's all over the media.
Yeah.
The guards taking backhanders and things and all like that, and being involved in criminality themselves, and yet they're, you know, they're supposed to be to protect and serve the communities.
Absolutely.
Which they don't. I think the Gardaí are the main cause
Yeah.
of what's going on here with the younger generation. So my advice to the younger generation, crime is a murder. Crime does not pay. And if you get involved in gangland or any paramilitary organisation in this country, I personally think it'll lead to three things, right? Prison, going on the run, or death.
Is it true?
Some people might escape.
Some people
all of
say,
that.
yeah.
Fair play to them.
Yeah.
No, it's the truth. It's
If-
that
But do you
it's
ever
got
really
on a
fucking
shooting.
escape though either? Like, that's, you're looking over your shoulder then for...
Well, you could,
Forever,
you could
you
not be. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure there's a lot out there that have done well. Fair play to them. You know, that's their own business. It's not my business, but that's my advice growing up. Get a job, get educated, have a family if you want a family, look after your family. And my motto is, I'm only willing to do for you what you're willing to do for me. And if I don't get that respect, or if I don't get that vibe back off you, then I don't want you in my circle.
Yeah. I respect that big time.
The circle I have here now, Mukhtar's a friend of mine a long time. That's the respect.
Big respect for
You're
that.
a gentleman, you're a family man, so you understand where I'm coming from.
100%.
I've
100%.
got good influences in my life, and I've got friends here in my life as well that aren't involved in any criminality as well. And they're all family men, they're all family people. They have kids, some want to have kids. The way to go forward, as I said before, I'll say it again, I live with no regrets whatsoever. I've done good, I've done bad. I was a good sinner, I was a bad sinner, but I move on. I accept myself for who I am today. And
That's the right way as well.
That is the best way. And look, I'm delighted to have you in. And anyway, when I talked to you on the phone and I got you on board, it was amazing, because I know there's going to be a lot of young fellas sitting back, and there's going to be a lot of people in the estate that really want to know what really happened.
You have lads on social media, right? They're wearing all these goose jackets and flashy watches, and it's a bad image for younger people growing up, you know. If you got a full-time job, you can buy these things.
You can do it.
You can go and buy it. And then you go on fancy holidays, which are own money. Working for, you know. Like, I've been into, since I got the kids, I've been to Marbella on a holiday, and Lanzarote, great, based on their bad past when they weren't with me. So when I got with them, I get them good things. I brought them good places that they've seen everywhere.
Good experiences.
They've seen more with me since I've had them than they had in their whole life, and they've travelled everywhere, you know.
And that's the most important thing in life, isn't it?
Big time. So that brings me to, like, let me just be touching light onto it. That brings me to, in life, it's just like media, the portrayal of media and the way people are judging people, but before getting to know people is like, it's really a domino effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
like, if being branded as being members of organisations, right? I was never charged with membership of any organisation in this country. I was never involved in any organisation, right? The tabloids and the media have said I was a member of this organisation, that organisation. It's all bullshit.
And that's the thing, right or wrong, it sticks, doesn't it, nearly?
And as well as this, these journalists, right, they talk about you as if they're your friend. And if they personally know you on a personal level, they know absolutely nothing about you. And they have a lot to say about you.
Yeah.
And they put your name up as this, put your name up as that.
Not a second thought about it,
They don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
It's mad.
The family thing. But yet they write all this nonsense about a lot of people in this country. And I'm sure if you'd met them face to face, genuine people, they look after their families, they pay their way, they pay their tax, they all have jobs. So I think the media gets people in trouble.
Big time.
Absolutely.
So that brings us to a closing, and I truly respect you coming in. And guys, I really want to shine a light on this. Like, we all made mistakes. Do you learn from it? That's the most important thing there, you know what I mean? But if you're learning from it and you're moving forward, do you, regardless what you're doing in life, regardless you're doing good or bad, somebody's going to be there fucking pissing on your plain cornflakes. So you just keep doing you and live by your own rules. It is what it is. Love is good.
Stay active, stay healthy, eat healthy, be happy. No drama, no bollocks, no bullshit.
No regrets.
No regrets. We
And
live.
just do
we all make
you.
mistakes.
Exactly.
You just have to move on.
Do you.
But it's how you move on from those mistakes. That's what can better your life.
In the long run.
Me
Thank you
first.
so much, brother. Thank you so much, bro.
No problem.
Thanks, you made it to the end. Guys, if you're fucking with us and you like exactly what we were doing, everything we talked about, make sure to do what?
Follow, like, share, subscribe, YouTube or Spotify. No matter what you're listening or watching us on, be sure to hit all them buttons and run up them numbers, my guys. Know what I'm saying?
You better.